Every time I go on Facebook Marketplace or any used car platform, I realize just how ridiculous prices have become. People are trying to squeeze thousands of extra dollars out of their cars that are almost never worth it. But that's why I've compiled a list of 10 great, reliable cars that you will undoubtedly be able to find for under $10K no problem. And first up is the Subaru Impreza. Finding a reliable car for under 10 grand is already tough. Finding one with all-wheel drive that's still dependable, almost impossible. That's why the 2014 Subaru Impreza earns a well-deserved spot on this list. If you live somewhere that gets snow, rain, or unpredictable weather, this car is a no-brainer. Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive system isn't some gimmicky part-time all-wheel drive setup. It is always on, distributing power to all four wheels. Now, this Subaru has a die-hard following for a reason. These cars are built to go the distance. iSeeCars.com report that older Imprezas have a solid 10% chance of hitting 250,000 miles, which is no small feat for a compact car. Owners who take care of these things routinely rack up 200,000 miles plus without breaking a sweat. Of course, no car is going to be perfect. If you're looking at an Impreza that's impressive, you might hear about oil consumption issues. Some engines tend to drink a little more oil than they should, but here's the deal. Regular maintenance and keeping an eye on the oil levels completely negates this issue. And if you're really worried, grab a manual transmission version, which is a lot more fun anyway, and it tends to have way fewer issues long term than the automatic. Regardless, the 2014 Subaru Impreza is hands down one of the best all-wheel drive options for under 10 grand. Want proof? Here's a listing we found for just under that mark. And if you want to find all these cars for way less using Auto Tempest, I pinned you all of them in the pinned first comment, so go check them out. Yes, up next is the 2015 Ford Fusion. This thing punches way above its price class with a modern design, a comfortable interior, and an overall driving experience that feels more premium than its budget price tag suggests. The Fusion wasn't just another bland commuter car either. Ford genuinely put in some effort into making it look and feel great. The exterior, it's handsome in my opinion. So am I. And having ridden in several of these things over the years, I can tell you the seats, they're pretty comfy. Also, this thing drives like a dream. Unlike most economy sedans that feel like appliances on wheels, the Fusion actually has a bit of personality. The precise steering and solid suspension tuning give it a sportier feel than you'd expect from a car in this price range. If you opt for the 2.5-liter naturally aspirated four-cylinder, you're getting a simple, reliable engine that's been around forever. It won't set your hair on fire, but it'll easily last 200,000 miles with basic maintenance. That said, if you see one with the 1.5-liter or 1.6-liter EcoBoost engine, be cautious. The turbocharged variants have been known to develop cooling system issues that can lead to expensive repairs. Stick to the tried and true 2.5-liter and you're gonna be golden. Here's a listing that's posted at under 8K. If you think a used sedan under 10 grand has to be boring, clearly never driven a 2014 Mazda 6. This thing doesn't just get you from point A to point Z, it makes every drive feel engaging, fun, and kind of stylish. Let's start with that cool design, because let's be honest, looks matter. Even today, the Mazda 6 still turns heads. Mazda nailed the proportions, the aggressive stance, and the sleek body lines. It doesn't look like a 10-year-old economy car, does it? It looks like something that should still be sitting in a showroom with a much higher price tag, right? But the real magic happens when you get behind the wheel. The Mazda 6 is for real, actually fun to drive. The 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine is smooth, responsive, and surprisingly peppy for a non-turbo motor. It's not a race car, but compared to most sedans in its price range, it feels tight and connected. Plus, this thing is built to last. The Mazda 6 has a great track record for reliability, with owners regularly racking up over 200,000 miles with basic maintenance. Unlike some older Mazdas that had rust issues, the 2014 Plus models had way better corrosion protection. So as long as it's been well maintained, it won't crumble into dust on you. This one only has around 100,000 miles and is listed right now for around 7 grand. All right, let's talk about a car that laughs in the face of gas prices, the 2014 Toyota Prius C. If you're looking for something fuel efficient, ultra reliable, and dirt cheap to own, this is as good as it gets, gents. First off, this thing sips fuel like it's at an expensive bar. We're talking 50 plus miles per gallon, and that's just real world numbers, not just EPA testing. But it's not just fuel economy that makes this car a winner. It's Toyota's legendary hybrid reliability. The Prius has been around for decades now, and Toyota has mastered hybrid technology. The battery, surprisingly durable. There are Prius Cs with well over 250,000 miles still going very strong. And even if you do have to replace the battery at some point, it is way cheaper than people think. Used and refurbished hybrid batteries can be found for under $1,000. Now, Yeah, it's not perfect, just like your boy. If you're expecting thrilling acceleration, this is not the car for you. The Prius C was built for efficiency, not speed, so you're not going to be winning any drag races. In the interior, it's functional, but it's got a lot of hard plastic and basic materials because, again, let's be real, Toyota didn't build this as a luxury car. It's a dead nuts, reliable, and extremely functional mode of transportation that you can rely on probably for decades. We found this listing live for under $8,500. All right, if the Prius C is the budget-friendly hybrid king, then the regular Prius is the OG that started it all, and that's why it's next on our list. The 2010 Prius is an absolute tank when it comes to longevity. There are taxi fleets out there running these things hard past 400,000 miles with just basic maintenance. The hybrid system, it's bulletproof as hell, and the gas engine could survive a nuclear war as far as I'm concerned. And just like the Prius C, this one gets insane gas mileage. Expect 45 to 50 miles per gallon all day long. Plus, it's bigger and more comfortable than the Prius C, with a lot more cargo space thanks to that hatchback design. The one real downside though, well, the 2010 Prius isn't exactly fun to drive. The handling, it's soft. The acceleration is, let's call it leisurely, and the steering feels like you're guiding a cloud. But if you're buying a Prius, you don't care about any of that. You care about rock solid reliability and ridiculous fuel savings, and that's exactly what you're gonna get. And here's a 2010 Prius listed for under $9,000. All right, so we're halfway through, but this is the best half, so stick around because you've probably been thinking, where's the big sedans with all-wheel drive? Well, here it is, the big sedan, the 2013 Subaru Legacy. If you like the Subaru Impreza earlier on this list, but wanted something a little bit bigger, more comfortable, and a little more power, well, this is your car. The Legacy is one of those underrated gems that flies under the radar in the used car world. People always talk about Camrys and Accords, but what they don't realize is that the Legacy gives you all-wheel drive for the same price. And when you're looking at cars under 10 grand, that is a huge bonus. That all-wheel drive system is the same legendary Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive that keeps this thing glued to the road. And because this is a mid-size sedan, it's a lot roomier and more comfortable than the smaller Impreza. Under the hood, you'll usually find a 2.5 liter boxer 4-cylinder, which is solid and reliable if you want to keep up with maintenance. There's also a 3.6 liter flat six option if you want more power, but those are harder to find under 10 grand. Either way though, the Legacy has a strong reputation for hitting 200,000 plus miles without much fuss. And at the end of the day, if you live somewhere that sees snow or a mix of weird conditions like I do, the Legacy might just be the single best car on this list for you, or the ideal car on this ideal list. Here's an even newer 2017 Legacy we found for under 10 grand. There are very few cars that can claim the kind of legendary reliability that the Honda Civic has. It doesn't matter what year, what generation, or what body style. You say Civic and people automatically think dependable, cheap to own, and easy to maintain, and the 2013 Honda Civic keeps that reputation going strong. It's simple, efficient, and most importantly, it just works. The 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine under the hood is the definition of bulletproof, and if you keep up with oil changes and basic maintenance, you're looking at a car that'll easily last 250,000 miles or more. But the real reason people love Civics isn't just reliability, it's how cheap they are to own. Parts are everywhere, repairs are cheap, and you don't need some fancy mechanic to work on one. If something does go wrong, you're not stuck with some expensive repair bill that makes you regret buying a used car. And despite its econobox status, they are actually fun to drive. It's got tight steering, lightweight handling, and a surprisingly responsive engine. If you find a manual version, even better. And if you feel like modifying it, there is no car on the planet with more aftermarket support than a Civic. Now, if we're nitpicking, some 2013 models had paint issues, especially in hot climates. The CVT transmission isn't as fun as the old school automatics Honda used to have, but the benefits completely outweigh the negatives. It's reliable, cheap to own, and easily one of the best cars under 10 grand, period. Here's one that was listed in the high 9s. Yes, you, me, and your mom knew that this one was coming. The Toyota Corolla is the car that refuses to die. It is the cockroach of the car world. Yeah, you could forget to change the oil, drive it through a zombie apocalypse, and it would still probably start the next morning. The 2013 Corolla is as simple as cars get, and that's what makes it so good. No fancy turbochargers, no complicated electronics, just Toyota doing what Toyota does best, making cars that run forever. The 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine is about as reliable as an engine can be. There are countless stories of people hitting 300, 400, 500,000 miles without any issues. It's one of those cars where as long as you change the oil and occasionally replace a belt or two, it'll keep running like it just left the dealership. Fuel economy, it's excellent, with real-world numbers sitting around 32 to 38 miles per gallon. The ride is comfortable, if not exactly exciting, and the back seat has decent space for a compact sedan. I mean, what else is there to say, people? The Corolla is always the answer, other than the Miata, of course. And bam! Here's one for $9,100. If the Corolla is the car that refuses to die, the Camry is its bigger, comfier, slightly more grown-up cousin. It is a mid-sized sedan that does everything well. And if you want a car that's gonna last forever while still feeling comfortable, this is the one to get. The 2011 Camry is powered by either a 2.5-liter four-cylinder or a 3.5-liter V6, and both are rock-solid reliable. The four-cylinder is the safer bet for longevity, but the V6 is shockingly fast for a family sedan. Either way, expect a smooth, quiet ride and gas mileage in the mid-30s for a four-cylinder version. Inside, it is spacious, comfortable, and built to last. Toyota kept things simple. No weird tech that breaks, no overcomplicated electronics, just a solid, well-made interior that doesn't feel cheap. There really are no downsides, if I'm being honest. I mean, it's not a super fun car in base form, but that's not the point. You want a reliable, comfortable, no-nonsense sedan? The Camry in this listing right here is posted for under $9,500 and it fits the bill. Up next, another king of budget-friendly, reliable cars, the 2012 Honda Accord. The Accord does everything right. It's spacious, fuel efficient, built like a tank, and if you get the V6, shockingly quick for a mid-size sedan. The 2.5-liter four-cylinder is one of the most dependable engines Honda has ever made, capable of hitting 300,000 miles with minimal effort. If you want a little bit more power though, the 3.5-liter V6 is seriously quick for a family car with over 270 horses. It's comfortable, drives better than any other car on this list, and has Honda's legendary reliability baked in. The only real issue is that some people prefer the Toyota Camry because it's a bit softer and more isolated. But if you actually enjoy driving, the Accord is the better pick. It's the best balance of everything: reliability, comfort, fun, and affordability. Here's a 2012 model we found listed for just $9K. All right, so with these 10, I guarantee there's gotta be one that will treat you right and suit your lifestyle perfectly. So go find them via Auto Tempest in the pinned first comment, and comment down below which one you're gonna go look for. I wanna know the good, the bad, the ugly. Also, if you enjoyed this vid, like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and check out these Ideal vids over here. I'm Brad, this is Ideal. We'll catch you next week, and promise me one thing: keep living the ideal lifestyle.